Welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen. Welcome to the BB Breakdown with Joleen. That's me. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen. That's me. I break down all things Big Brother Season 24. Tonight, we had a double eviction, and we're going to break it all down. And we're also going to bring up my husband in a second to do Casual Corner. And I have so many opinions, and I'm probably going to go off. And I'm probably going to have to drag some of these house guests, and I'm probably going to have to say things I won't regret, but I should. But I'm not going to. But first, make sure you smash that like, smash it, smash it, smash it. Let's set a goal for 1,000 likes. Why not? Why not? Let's get 1K likes for some real commentary, because you could be anywhere on the interwebs, anywhere on YouTube, but you chose to be here. So do it for yourself, you guys. And if you want to support the channel, Super Chat is a great way to do it while we're live. Super thanks after the video posts. Sabine says, thank you so much for that latest super thanks. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to all my patrons and my members on YouTube. I appreciate your support. Feel free to join us if you would like to. Oh my gosh. We're going to drag these hoes, but we have my husband here tonight as well. And, you know, he's a casual. So if this is your first time here, obviously hit the like, hit the subscribe. But we bring in my husband once a week, and he's Casual Corner, which means he's giving the perspective like a casual who does not watch the feeds and does not do spoilers. However, you know, I don't know. With that drag, I might have to be spoiling it up. And we're just going to get right into it. So let me know all your hopes, thoughts, opinions, and dreams in the chat. Without further ado, let's bring my very handsome husbando, Chell.
Yay, me.
Oh my God, Chell, change your username.
What happened? What's wrong with this one?
You are trolling me. Chell. Oh
What?
my God. I'm going to go off.
I can't have a... Wait, why'd you take our name? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm going to go in and change your name for you.
What? What's wrong?
You dirty husband.
I'll change my name, okay?
Chell's name is Team Kyle and Alyssa. That is the opposite of what we want to display on this channel. If others feel that way, that's fine. But you, through insemination of me longer than 10 seconds, has to agree with Team Wet Noodle.
I can't say Kyle and Alyssa, so I'm just going to name them Wet Noodle.
Or Team Sex Floaty, because they lost it on a floaty.
I didn't know they lost it on a floaty. But good for
them. They did
That'll be a great
sex
wedding
on
memory.
a floaty.
Remember when America saw us fuck on a floaty? That's when I knew.
Molly said, no, Chell, not the dark side. Oh my gosh. Shout out to Jody. Hello, you guys. Yeah, Chell needs to sleep outside. He's never going to get that PlayStation now, PS5, now that he's this. Oh my God. Team 10 seconds. Team 10-second race. Kyle wins. If this was a 10-second race, Kyle would win. Okay, my little thing. All right. Double eviction. Let's just get into it, Chell. I have so many opinions, and I want to have your opinion. You watched it next to me. The feeds were down for quite a long time for the Dyer Fest, so we didn't really get to see what happened on the feeds.
Yeah, you were really spicy throughout the whole episode.
I was so Pisces.
Dyer Fest, you're Pisces.
I was Pisces because normally I would see on the feeds and I would kind of anticipate what was going to happen. This conversation they showed out in Dyer Fest, because we'll talk about Team Brochella later, because it was pretty chill, you know. But this conversation they showed with Terrence and Turner and Kyle and Alyssa and Joseph made me so mad. I was happy that we were getting to finally see what happened, but I also was mad because I'm thinking I would have loved to see this go down on the feeds. But this conversation pissed me off for multiple reasons, okay? First and foremost, Alyssa, why are we bucking up now to Joseph when the guy you lay with is the one who has been lying to you and sleeping with you and penetrating you? Joseph was very honest, and he said, hey, we weren't really working together, so I can't really lie to you if we're not working together. And she dragged him with some projection like I have never seen before. This girl is in denial. I have watched her on the feeds be in love, like a 10 things I hate about you, Julia Stiles type. I love you, but most things I hate about you is that I don't hate you at all. I love you. And I want to throw up because she's not playing the game. I was so upset. There's one thing. Here's the thing. I'm not even a huge Joseph fan. I enjoy him, but I haven't been really pissed about I'm not even a Jailer fan. I don't even like the kids say, I don't ship Taylor and Joseph. I just don't. Okay.
I had no idea what you just said.
So their little showman's name is Jailer.
Okay.
And a lot of people ship it, which means
what do you mean ship it?
It means you're like a big fan of it. You're a stan of their relationship. You ship it. Okay. God bless, I think it's cute, but I'm not, I'm older now. I don't really ship showmances as much. And I haven't been mad at a twosome going home since Janelle and Kaser in All Stars, which justice for Janelle and Kaser. Okay. But this made me more Team Joseph than I ever thought I could be. Watching Alyssa project feelings she should have to her 10-second hero onto Joseph pissed me off so much. Acting like she was actually doing something when really all she's doing is saying the things she wants to say to Kyle. And then don't even get me started, Chal. I'm so sorry I'm going off this early, but and you're
you gotta wait. You gotta wait till we get over casual corner, and then you can go off completely.
I didn't even put up your casual corner. And then I hear Turner piping. I'm thinking, Turn dog, you are not going out this way because we hated you in the beginning. Then we gave you a chance. And now everyone might have to go back to not liking you, Turner. And I want to like him because I really enjoy his rugs and Megan Belmonte. But he could have sat there and ate his spam. He did not have to pipe up and talk. I don't understand why he had to undermine Joseph in that situation. Again, Kyle's the one that blew up your alliance, and Turner knows this. He's well aware that Kyle's the one that immediately leaked everything about the leftovers. Yet Turner is going to do this very public display of like, well, Joseph, I'm just like, what is this man doing? You can just sit there, eat your spam, and still vote him out. You don't have to. It felt extra. It felt mean. It felt unnecessary. It just didn't feel like peace and love, van life Turner. And let me tell you another thing. He's been real cranky, Chell, doing this glamping. Let's not pretend this is Survivor as much as, we compare it, or I do, or I did yesterday. This is not Survivor, okay? You got a whole stove out there. Survivor's eating literal sand and, sucking on ocean water. And you guys got beans and veggie dogs, okay? I've eaten worse before when I cooked for myself, and then I met Chell, and now I eat like a queen. But he has been acting as though he doesn't already live outside. You have a whole YouTube channel, bro, where you bathe in a parking lot and you poop in a bag. So how is this going to piss you off to the point where you're like, nothing's ever going to be the same, and we're always...
I think that's unfair to Turner.
Oh my God, Chell. Tell me why.
You are just seeing the edited version, and you keep telling me, like, from a casual corner perspective, you're like, yeah, okay, casual, but you don't know the whole story. So I would like to you back up, because I really do feel like we really don't know what that whole conversation was. Like, maybe at some point Joseph said, well, Turner, and try to get him on his side, and then Turner just tried to distance himself as much as possible so that when he goes back into the house, he's not excluded at the beginning. So I just think that you see the edited version and you're upset about it.
You treated me like a casual.
I am. You're being casual. I see you as a casual. I see you.
Well, here's the thing. Turner didn't need to, because he was already showing his loyalty to this new After Party Alliance, which is such a dumb name. They should have been called like After Dyer or something like that. If you're going to do an after, the After Party Alliance is totally lame. But he would have been showing his allegiance to them going into the game as this new, foursome by voting Joseph out. That would have been enough. There was no reason for him to pipe up and chime in, especially because he was wrong and he knew it. And this is the thing about Turner that I've always side-eyed, is the amount that he likes Alyssa. It's sus. It is suspect, because he really is like, she's such a good friend to me. She's so funny. She's so interesting. Said who? Said when? Said never. And so this guy has now, so as much as this was edited and we didn't get to see this whole conversation, I've seen enough conversations since they've turned the feeds on in the backyard to know that Turner really is aligned to Kyle and Alyssa way too much, like to a point where I'm like, ugh. Just
I think it was sad when Joseph was being evicted before they voted, because he knew he was being evicted, so he looked like a sad boy. It just felt like he was just depressed in his chair. And you can't really be depressed in a lawn chair. It's the most depressing place to be depressed.
Seriously. And Joseph has, he's had that feeling all week, and he's been very sad. And I mean, it's been a tough road for Joseph out there. Once Kyle spilled, and then everyone found out that Kyle spilled because Tear Bear was like, guess what? Kyle spilled. I feel as though Joseph was taking the heat for Kyle's spill more than Kyle's taking the heat for Kyle's spill. The fact that Terrence, what do you think about this? Terrence said that he's more worried about Mojo, which I honestly watch these feeds religiously. I don't even remember them bringing up Mojo. Maybe it didn't strike me. You know, it did strike me.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know the full conversation because maybe Kyle was
No.
Hey,
I'm
Monty,
talking before this.
But I'm saying like maybe he said like Monty and Joseph are so tight you can't break them apart.
You know what makes you the tightest? Jizz. Jizz makes you the tightest. And you know who shared jizz and had jizz and gotten jizz is the showmans.
There are plenty of apps where you jizz once a night with different people and they're not connected in any way.
Are you on these apps? What are you talking about? These apps. You should know nothing about no apps, okay? No, I'm saying when you share jizz, when you share juices, it's over. So
it's not over. There's plenty of apps that say differently.
I want to find out these apps. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the live feeds are on and I was watching a little bit of it. And yeah.
So let's start talking about the episode. That way it's not just you talking.
I was talking about the episode.
I kind of feel left out over here in
that's why I was asking you questions about the episode. Like, how did you feel about Terrence saying that?
You have such feelings about this that I know that, hey, we get done talking about this episode, then I can go and you can share all your feelings.
Chell gives like 2 shits about this show, and I'm so passionate because I'm so invested in this dumbass show that I'm embarrassed to be invested in at this point. Okay, so
I've been staring at you for 10 minutes, not saying a word.
Oh my God, you're so lucky. How lucky you are to be married to me. Such a beautiful, opinionated woman. I mean, God bless. Okay, Chell. So do you think Terrence is right in his assumption? That was my original question, of thinking that Joseph and Monty's bromance is more threatening than this showmance.
Yeah, because Joseph is that loyal. So, you know, if Kyle's willing to jump ship right away, then obviously he can find a way to get in. And I think that ultimately Terrence, even though he consciously didn't see that this was a great move for his game, subconsciously, I think that going back into the house, bringing Kyle back in just makes Kyle the big target, specifically Alyssa, so that Terrence can, you know, at least survive this week and then try to win HOH next week.
I don't know. I think that I just think Terrence, in a way, I have appreciated Terrence's, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I've appreciated his HOH just because it was messy, and I love messy Big Brother. Like, I love it, but I don't appreciate it when it just, things don't make sense. And it's one thing to be like, you're more threatened by Joseph or Monty, or you just somehow like Alyssa. I think Terrence's loyalty to Alyssa is because he's been left out of so much, and he's literally only like 2 people in this house, and it's been Alyssa and Daniel. So now he's like, Liz. So he likes her. But wouldn't you think if he liked her this much, Chell, even you said this during the episode, if Turner and Terrence like Alyssa so much, wouldn't the best thing to pull her closer would be to get rid of Kyle?
No, because Terrence can't play HOH next week, so he needs someone that's actually good at the game. The vetoes and the comps, and that would be Kyle. I think Kyle has a chance to win, and so does Turner. So I think that no matter what, even bringing Joseph back into the house, he's so loyal that you really wouldn't know which way to play with him. I think the biggest problem here was ultimately Michael's choice not to split Alyssa and Kyle, because the forethought or hindsight should say that, you know, no matter where one votes, the other one's going to vote. And by splitting them with the decision to bring one into Dyer House and the other one to BB Coachella, Brochella, I think that would have been a better move. So I think that that's what cost Joseph this game, because Michael couldn't protect everybody. And the best way he could have is if he would have split the showmance for a week. Yeah.
And I think that goes into the casual perspective, because once you watch the feeds, you see why Michael didn't worry about that, and without giving away further information to you, because you're casual.
I stand corrected because I only saw the edit, and I agree that you do the same.
I don't even know what you're talking about right now. So
do you think that they'll show the whole conversation on live feeds, or is that footage kind of lost?
That's lost now because they turned the feeds off, because there was alleged maybe wall yeller. I don't know what was going on back there.
Well,
And they
do
were
you think
playing
the wall
music
yellow,
nonstop.
well, do you think the wall yeller kind of influenced why Turner did what he did?
Why Turner or why Terrence?
Turner.
Why
Turner is the one
Turner?
who, like, in that conversation really got you bothered. So do you
I
think
knew
that was
I
part of his
knew
influence?
Turner was going to stick with Kyle and Alyssa because he very much enjoys Alyssa. And even when Turner found out that Kyle and Alyssa had sex, he then told Kyle, "Well, you can't go after her now. You can't vote her out now." And he's been one of the ones that actually is not wholly on board with Alyssa going home. I think deep down he would prefer she stay. And his true, final three lies with those two and himself. But I guess I just thought maybe he would be smart enough to know taking a shot at Kyle, in my opinion, would have been a great move because it draws Alyssa closer to you because she has nowhere else to go as well. And it would be easy to just be like, Alyssa, look, because she would respect this from Turner because that's her friend. She didn't respect it from Joseph because she was just projecting onto him all the things she wanted to say to Kyle, but she's too afraid to do so because she's a very insecure person. So if Turner would have just said, he was lying to you, and I feel like we need a clean start, a fresh start from this. Me, you, and Terrence can go in this house. We can talk to Michael. We can talk to Taylor. We could, you know what I mean? We could work with Joe. We can figure something. That's pretty much everyone in the game, but we can do something. And I feel as Terrence too, because at this point, they're just lining themselves up with the showmance that is even talking about taking this further outside of the house. I mean, it's just never a good idea to keep a showmance intact in this game. They tend to get to the end and they tend to win.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's them two at final two, would you watch the finale?
Well, I watched a Jackson, Mickey, Holly, Beth final two, so it can't be much worse than that. I mean, God. Christian, thank you for the first super chat of the live. Who would think Turner's dad was so afraid of America turning against him that he'd post that post about Turner been nice? Well, his name says it all. Turner turns on people. Turner the turncoat.
Did you see that post by any chance? From
Yes.
Turner?
He posted, he's a fan of TV Talks with Tom, which we're friends. Shout out to TV Talks with Tom, his channel, and he posted it in his comment section about all the good Turner's done in the world, which, all right, awesome. Happy for you. But as far as this game goes and as far as this conversation that we saw goes, he should have just sat there and picked up some litter. He should have sat there and, solved the global warming.
Maybe Turner didn't see himself moving further within the leftover alliance now that it was out in the open.
It turns out he had a lot of opinions we didn't necessarily know about his feelings toward the leftovers. But I just find it so interesting that you would still want to be aligned to someone who spilled so quickly. Kyle has always been so insulated. He's always been extremely privileged in this game in the fact that he has all these alliances plus a showmance. He's got leftovers. He's got the pound. He's got Alyssa. Yet he's terrified at every moment and willing to throw everything out the door for this Alyssa thing. I mean, he was at one point even willing to throw Alyssa out. So I don't think you can trust anything Kyle says. And I'm not saying you can't play the game like that, because you definitely can. And Big Brother is about lying and manipulation. It can be, you can play it Joseph's way, you can play it Kyle's way, you can play it somewhere in the middle. You can play it lots of ways. But to think you could trust Kyle, knowing that he just threw everybody under the bus and drove over them, and that previously he was going inside of Alyssa, literally lying to her, taking information she shared with him, like what do they call that, like bedroom talk or whatever, where you're taking that information and sharing it with this alliance. While she's crying, having panic attacks and her period, he's taking private information after insemination and going and sharing it with the leftovers. Yet she's like, it's okay. That's how strong a showmance is. That is why showmances are deadly in this game, because he can betray her to the utmost and she's still like, I'm gonna roll with him. And so I'm like, Turner, did he bang you too? I mean, why? What is up, dude? I just can't. I could see maybe him voting out Joseph, whatever. I wasn't even like super like sad. I was just like, well, Joseph could have done this better and that better, looking at it logically. But then when they played that clip, I was like, oh no, you're all going to get it now. You're all going to get it because this is stupid. But you see what I'm saying, Chow? Pillow talk. Thank you.
No idea.
All right.
I just think that at least we got to see good drama. I'm glad Terrence won, so that at least he could feel like he's participating in this game, and he got a sense of power, which is awesome. I think what you said during the TV was right. Taylor should have got her way, and they should have got rid of Terrence last week. And I think that this situation wouldn't have happened.
I mean, yeah, they should have all listened to Taylor, and they should have got rid of Terrence, because if they wanted that alliance to be successful another week, Indy was not going to pull something like this, and she probably wasn't going to win, but Terrence was messy. And again, because the feeds were down, I don't know if he was messy because of the wall yeller, if he was messy because he always wanted to be messy. The thing with Terrence is you never know with him, which can be very interesting in a player. I just haven't really cared for what he has had to say on the feed.
Agent. I mean, he's never won anything up until this week, and he's always just been a pawn. So, I mean, this is just his opportunity to shine in essence. And I'm glad that he brought Turner down and he put Kyle up, because I don't think that there would have been that big of a conversation between the whole group that you so love, that we wouldn't have seen that unless Terrence would have stirred the pot a little bit like he's been doing. So.
Well, it was very messy of Terrence to his own HOH. He's putting people up and taking them down. I mean, it was entertaining for us, but messy for him, because he's like, Turner, you're my boy. I got you. And then he's like, nah, I'm going to put you in harm's way. Okay, now I'm going to save you. It's kind of like, I'm going to push you in front of the bus, but then I'm going to grab you right before the bus hits you. You're welcome. And you're like, well, I would have been fine had you never pushed me in front of the bus. But I don't know. Terrence is on another level. He is now only wearing jorts, cut off jean shorts, 24/7, and he is feeling himself.
It was hot outside. You have to wear jorts.
I do have to say the black jorts were kind of cute though, but he is on another level with these jorts. Okay. Terrence brought Chicago drama to LA. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's talk about Jasmine for a second. So Big Brochella was a lot calmer this week than Dyer Fest. They had a mission. The mission was to get Jasmine out. Do you think, as a casual, that was the best move, or do you think Michael should have taken a shot at Monty, a big player in this game?
Best move, because they didn't know what was going to happen outside. When there is a sense of insecurity, I think that you have to go with the strongest move, which is to keep your 4 intact, because you really don't know what's going to happen outside. So now we know what the 4 is. And we all saw how Monty looked at Kyle when he came back into the house. He had the hands over his head. You did this. I do that like when I'm like, oh shit, I need to be saved right now.
Yeah, you need a breather.
Yeah. I need to tap out because this is ridiculous. So I think it was the best move, just because now we have a 4v4 in the house, and let's see who wins HOH so that we can go forward.
I mean, we might not. We don't know. We'll have to see how the story, like I know from the feeds, the story they plan on telling when they're in the house. I don't know if they've started telling that story already. I turned on the feeds a little bit and I was watching a little bit of Alyssa interacting with Brittany, but I don't want to give anything away to Chell, who's a casual. But there really wasn't a bunch, to give away. Okay, so let's talk about this. Jasmine in the episode said she finally admitted to playing up her injury and faking her limp. What'd you think of this, Chell?
I think she was willing to do anything that would not make her have to exert much energy in order to win.
Oh no. I don't know if I can.
All right, that was me. I drank water and then I muted myself.
Oh, I was like, I can't hear you.
Every Wednesday, Jasmine was doing her best to play a social game, and I think that she was doing her best to not exert herself physically, and that was just her game, to make everybody do things for her. And I think that even if she limped her whole way through, like that was true to her game. And we are lucky to see someone that is, pretty scandalous, that would have someone else wipe their butt just because they sprained their ankle. I mean, I'd never go that far, but for $750,000, I don't know what else.
I wish she would have admitted it sooner, because now it feels like it was just given to her by production, knowing she was going home. So they're like, hey, everyone in America thinks you're faking this shit. So can you just admit it? We had to literally take your scooter away. We had to pry it from your, fake nails, and we had to take it.
If she didn't play the way she did, we would never get Kane in the pool. So I'm glad that she played the way she did. I mean, it brought us some great things.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. And I am hoping now, after what happened tonight, I am Team Taylor and Monty taking everybody out.
I like Michael. I want Michael. I think he's been very smart, and I think he's a comp beast. And I think that people don't credit him inside the house for what he's doing, because he's ultimately like being a puppet master while also having the ability to win comps. So
repping the Minnesota guy, chill. Okay, so Jasmine, she's like, I'm gonna play up the limp. I gotta talk. I need 2 votes. I need to talk Brittany and Taylor into voting for me. She's like, Tyler, and I'm just thinking back to that clip where she's like, Taylor knew about the blind side and I didn't. It's like Taylor knew about the whole game and you didn't, Jasmine. Jasmine has been in the dark for so long. And it's such poetic justice now that this woman who was like, Tyler, what's Tyler's skills? What's Tyler good at? I can't believe Tyler knows. Taylor knows you're going home and Taylor's behind you going home. And that's how you play this game, not by talking shit and scooting on your scooter and playing up a fake limp. But that's just my opinion. So she gets voted out. What did you think of her outfit?
It was nice. What do you? I think you bring like 5 outfits to the house and then you just trade through them. That's all.
She was really worried about this outfit. She's like, oh my God, because they told her she was going chill. I can tell you that because that's, she already left.
It's over. Yeah.
Yeah. So Taylor and Michael and Brittany had a talk with her in the Jetson room about going. And she was like, I'm glad you told me because now I know what outfit to pick. But I kind of knew because I have intuition and butter beans. And, she was crying. And then they asked her about all these alliances. And she basically was like, just straight up lied. And they were like, Brittany was, wow, child. If you want to watch a lesson in passive aggression, it was Brittany. Because she's like, wow, it seems like you never were loyal to us. Seems like that's a lot of alliances, right, Jasmine? Wow, that's not true. Your friend sold you out, Jasmine. Like she was just, and Jasmine was like, what? I don't think I remember that alliance. They were just making that alliance in front of me. That was just, I think I was there, but I was not loyal to them because they're asking about all the old alliances,
Yeah.
Old school, Pose Pack, the 5 shitters. And she's like, oh, okay. And then did you see when she's voted out? So she's voted out unanimously. She leaves. And isn't it weird how she's talking to Julie Chen in her interview and her voice is totally different?
Yeah, that was weird. And she didn't have any good colloquialisms.
No, she just was like, Julie, you look prettier. When she was in the house, she was like, hi, everybody. Julie, you look prettier than a hot, fresh baked pan of cornbread.
Yeah. And then when she was out, it's like no one was feeding her the lines that she
No. She's like, I don't know, Julie. I got some nail company. I was going to bring you some, but I think it's going to be Joseph. He might be gone. I'm not sure.
Do you think Joseph wins America's favorite player?
No.
Oh, you think it'll be Taylor then?
I do. There was a lot of push for Turner as well. I saw on Twitter, but I think it's if Taylor doesn't win, I think it's going to be Taylor. She doesn't win the whole game. I do. I think because her whole journey, I think people will be voting on that.
I don't think she'll make it past Final 5.
You don't think Taylor's gonna make it past Final 5?
No, I think Alyssa does not like her, and I think that she'll influence Kyle if he wins HOH to put her up.
Oh God, and that's from a casual. You are 100% right. She is so jealous of Taylor. It's sick.
Alyssa will like she's the most powerful player, and then they'll keep Monty and Michael around.
She's like, Alyssa's like, I like guys. I just like guys. It's this girls alliance. It's like Revenge of the Girls alliance. All the girls that started over the basic hate of Taylor, but they said it was because they were girls. They love girls. All end up saying, I just get along with guys better. I just get along with guys better. It's like, oh, shocker. The self-proclaimed like feminists in the house. Because even Jasmine went out with this, bullshit where she was just like, I just really wanted a woman to win. Well, then you could have had that happen. Then you should have made an alliance with all the women and not secluded the ones that you were intimidated by and not said the moment you saw Taylor walk across the yard, you hated her, just like Daniel did. I mean, that's what these idiots said. They hated her from the moment they looked at her. I mean, it's so crazy. They're so insecure. But I think you're 100% right about Alyssa, because every chance she gets when she's talking to Kyle, Taylor comes up. And he's like, "Did you really think I would leave you or pick Taylor over you?" She's like, "I don't know. No, I don't know." It's like Taylor doesn't give two Taylor barely talks to Kyle. She don't even care about him. She doesn't even know that man's like full government name. She does not care about him. And she's not going to care about him after this game. The only one that cares about him is you, Alyssa, and his mom that he does TikToks with, who is probably just, can you imagine his mom watching all this sex and, you know.
I think she turns it off. Well, she's probably casual like me. She doesn't know that they're boning unless they like tweet at her. And I think that's kind of weird.
No, because it's on like TMZ and shit. So all she knows about her son is in the media is that he's a pre-ejaculator who's a racist.
Well, I think I would be happy that a pre-ejaculate racist had found their partner, because at least when I die as a parent, he won't be alone.
You would be afraid that your racist pre-ejaculating son would be left alone.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
we're gonna love him unconditionally. Apparently Alyssa does, because it's only 10 seconds in this
It is. It is unconditional. Let me tell you, it is super, super crazy.
I hope when he jizzes, he says something racist, like, "Oh, I hate Mexicans."
Oh my God, Alyssa's like, "That's okay. He's just getting it out," and you're like, "No, Alyssa, no." I mean, this is just more time.
I heard his little sperms have little white caps that are pointing.
His sperms have hoods. Oh my God, Joe. Oh my gosh. His chromosomes are only K, and K. Like he doesn't have X or Y. He's just got Ks.
Just Ks.
I'm sorry, you guys. You can't. We're two comedians. We can't stop ourselves. Like,
yeah, just like Kyle.
Just like Kyle. He literally just blows his load. I mean, Kyle sees now a floaty and he blows his load. Like I was so scared this week. He was outside with all those innocent floaties, and I was like, "Don't hump them. They can't consent. Don't hump them, Kyle." You know. But oh my gosh. Yes, hit that like.
This is better than sex stool though. So
is sex, put it in the chat, you guys, is sex stool better or sex floaty better?
Sex floaty is better because I think people kind of stopped using the floaties after a while, where sex stool was gross because it was constantly in the HOH room. Like if I want HOH, I don't want people to already have had sex on my shower equipment. Stay away from that.
Well, I agree with that, but it's like sex on communal things. Like everyone's using those floaties, and I've seen people sit on the floaties even after, like Indian them, and I was like, ooh. And then I've also obviously the sex stool, because
if I want HOH, I would make them clean it really well. I'd be like, you have to hire someone.
But what if you didn't know?
Everything.
Because BB21, the other house guests weren't all aware of the sex stool. I mean, a lot of them used it, but not everyone was aware.
It became the jack off stool.
I feel like sex stool is a little more mature, but sex floaty is so appropriate for Kyle and Alyssa because they have a very immature relationship.
How
cool. Jay says, does BB give out birth control? They give out condoms. And let me tell you, the condoms were found in the cabinet on the live feeds. And I think it was Taylor. Someone said none were missing. Like it wasn't opened.
No, Alyssa's so pregnant.
So I think we might be raw dogging.
Yeah, they're pregnant.
I mean, I think Kyle's pregnant. Kyle's gonna be. He wants 6 kids.
He's gonna have to leave his dream TikTok job and get a job.
Alyssa said she's been missing her birth. They're already talking about like how many kids they want.
She's missing her birth control.
She knows what
she's ready.
doing.
Yeah, she's ready.
She's like, I want out of Sarasota. I've always wondered what Utah was like.
I've had to have sex with men for 2 hours before, and I no more. 10 seconds. That's all I want.
Maybe she really is like, penetration's overrated. So in and out, I just want someone to listen to me cry and have panic attacks, which I can relate to because I have panic attacks. And let me tell you, having a husband or a partner, I should say, with, who understands your anxiety, not saying Kyle does, but it makes it a lot easier to have, your panic attacks. But Alyssa's hard to digest. She's very hard.
They should go from Big Brother to 90 Day Fiance, just because they're living at Kyle's mom's house.
And it should be like a 90-Day Fiance because she's in Florida, which is basically like its own country in the United States. It's like a whole other country. He's in Utah, which is also a whole other country. Like these two places, they are totally different vibes. And people have mentioned like this isn't 90-Day Fiance. And also Alyssa, if you didn't know, Chell, is a Love Island reject.
Oh, she is?
Yes.
So she was ready to get busy from the beginning.
Yeah, she was. She said she's a super fan. I mean,
she is. She said so.
She said so. Of course she is. Oh my gosh. Kyle's mom would be banging on the floor. Penetration.
She said her favorite duo was Jacer and Canal. She was a super fan. If you don't know Jacer or Canal, you don't know anything.
Obviously. Patriot, I'm with you. I'm now Team Taylor and Monty. I never thought Monty has won me over again. We'll see what he does now with this information because I hated that Julie Chen was like, we're about to show you how the house guests react to, you know, who's gone when they're reunited, when Dyer Fest and Brochella is reunited. We'll show you. And I was like, Julie, we have 2 minutes left. And then she starts going on about foosball. And I'm like, nobody cares about the football schedule. We know what happens every year. Tell us later, put it in a tweet, show us. And then they open up, which they should have had. This was such a lost opportunity as well. Get Brochella in front of the door. Get Dyer Fest in front of the door. And then the gate thing lifts and they just have to stare at each other and get shots, like different shots, you know, make this like freaking you're in, what is that film festival that's in Utah, right?
Yeah.
Not Cannes, but what is it?
You went there in Park City, go there. Right?
Park City, Utah. It was beautiful, by the way, and I can't remember.
You did it in a theater.
Yeah, I performed at the Egyptian theater.
No, not Cannes.
It's not Cannes. All I can think of is Cannes. But you guys know what I'm saying. Like, but make the shot look really cool and artistic. But instead, they're like
Sundance. Thank you, Renee.
Yes, thank you, Renee. Thank you, Steffers. Make it like instead they stand there. And first of all, Turner doesn't even know how to. Turner's been outside so long, despite this guy saying, I lived in Vietnam, I backpacked here, I van lifed there. But if I'm in the backyard of the Big Brother house for a week, not even a week, I'm going to lose it. And I'm going to the whole game has changed. And now I'm terrified. You know, you'd think this would be Turner's element. Like he would never want to come back inside, but he was one of the ones that was the crabbiest about it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even know how to open up a sliding glass door anymore. Then they have to walk all the way through. You hear their annoying voices, go around to the living room. And then the other house guests kind of walk out and they're like, oh, and you could see Taylor kind of searching. And then she has to hug Alyssa. And it just was like.
And Alyssa's going to have a problem with it. She'll say, did you see that she hugged me second? She obviously doesn't like me, Kyle. Use your HOH and put her up now.
She obviously missed you, Kyle. She hugged you for like 2 seconds. That was like 2 seconds too long, okay? She hugged you for as long as we've had sex. That is so rude. And then Monty, again, like you said, his stance like this. And I was just like, Monty, get
That's what I looked like when I was bombing on stage the other night. I'm out of here. Thank God.
You weren't bombing, by the way, and you hadn't done stand-up in a year. So.
Oh, thank God, man. I remember what it was like to feel good about myself, and now I remember what it's like to hate myself.
Well, you know, you entered a different career path, and now you're helping people in healthcare. Like that's the thing about stand-up. That's the art form where you have to do bad to get better. You just have to have bad shows and good shows.
You can't just show up like a year later and be like, "This is gonna be fine." You know, it's
I thought it was fine. I laughed.
Jogging before I do the 5K. So, you laughed at me bombing. That's really rude. I did not know that. But I want to say that I think, you know, the casual corner is complete because I know you have opinions about everything going on in the house. And I know that these people really want to see that, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, I always like having you around, Chow. But overall,
we got to do our thought school after your live. So
I know.
You have a 1 hour time limit. Then we got to go work out.
Thought is my workout thing that I signed up for on Patreon. So Chell's going to do it with me.
Yay. We're gonna have some thought bodies.
We're going to be thought. Okay. So give me your overall thoughts about this episode and what you hope happens going forward and what you think will happen versus hope versus expectation.
Number 1, jorts for summer. Always. Thought number 2, if they couldn't find a way to get rid of Kyle and Alyssa, I think that they're going to stay for a while. I think they see them making at least top 4 unless someone wins it, and then they'll split them. So I am trying to escape. I think that Terrence put himself in the correct position in order to move forward at least a couple weeks. And I think Kyle and Alyssa are the biggest targets, but it depends who wins the HOH, because then I think Monty and Taylor will go up if Kyle wins HOH or Alyssa.
Chell, yeah, I think you're right. I think that sounded like you've been watching the feeds, sir. That's what it sounds like.
Guess. I think, Kyle will say Monty is a big threat, even though Michael's the biggest one. And then I think Alyssa will be like, well, I know you want to put Michael on, but, Taylor does breathe, so we got to get rid of her. She's breathing everywhere. So
she's breathing everywhere and pissing off my insecure showman, so we must get rid of her.
And I think Kyle will full-fledged go for that conspiracy that all the people of color are working together. So.
Right? Even then he'll be like, Terrence is in it. I mean, what's going on? Wouldn't Terrence be a part of that?
Yeah. I just think, I think if Kyle wins HOH, I think he'll do what he thinks is best for his game. But if I think Turner wins HOH, I think that they'll all like 4 be together. Like, hey, we're the after party. Hey, this is great. But I think, Kyle's shown himself to be a lone wolf when he thinks it's best. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much to my husbando, Chell. I appreciate you. I know jorts for summer. Love it. Love that. I was wondering what you were pointing to, but when I have casual corner up, I can't see your name. So we will bid Chell a fond adieu and thank you for joining us. And I'll see you shortly for our School of Thought exercise. And
all right.
Scary movie, because Chell and I have something fun coming to you guys.
I have to make dinner after that. And then
we just had Cobb salads.
No, but we're going to work out, and then by the time you're done with this, will be an hour. Then we'll go work out. That's another hour. I got to make dinner. That's like a half hour. It's like
Let's
2.5
just have
hours.
ice cream.
No, you've had your ice cream already, and you can't have mine anymore. You already pulled one out, let it melt, and then you said, I can't eat this, and you put that one back, and you gave me, and then that's mine now because you took the one that was in the freezer that was supposed to be.
Because I don't like when it melts and then you refreeze it, because then it gets all drippy looking.
Yeah, and that's your problem because you didn't eat it in time, not mine. But now it's my problem because you're just like, well, I'm going to do what I want. Alyssa.
Oh my God, don't insult me. All right, everyone say goodbye to Chell. Good night, Chell. We love you. All right, see you later. Oh my goodness. All right, you guys. So that was Casual Corner with Chell. We broke down the episode. Now let's get into a little more of what we can talk about when Chell is not here. Yes, goodbye, husbando. Yeah, HOH hasn't happened yet. So they did turn on the feeds after this episode for a little bit. I did see a conversation between Alyssa and Brittany. It seemed like they were both just kind of feeding each other BS. Remember that Brittany and Alyssa have established a relationship because there was this foursome that was starting to be created with Kyle and Michael and Brittany and Alyssa outside of the leftovers. So that worries me that it really is going to be Monty and Taylor have to win because they're going to be the targets in the house. If they don't, because Michael, if there's power that Kyle gets, Turner gets, Alyssa gets, Michael and Brittany are definitely going to head over that way to make sure that they, in fact, are not nominated. So Monty and Taylor, Godspeed, both of you. I hope one of you wins HOH. It'll be interesting to see what they think now that, they're back together. And here's the story that they were going to go in saying, okay? So the Dyer Fest folks, Turner, it was actually Turner's idea. He was like, here's the thing. We should kind of tell him the truth, but we should adjust the truth because they were maybe going to not say that Turner was on the block and then was taken down by Terrence. And he's like, no, I don't want them to think that I haven't been on the block. Like, I don't want that. So let's tell them that we were put up and that Joseph, they want to blame Joseph for what Kyle did. So Joseph outed the leftovers. They're going to go in there and say. So then once Terrence found that out, they're going to tell the people in the house. This is what they were saying outside. They were going to tell them that he decided to take Turner off and then put Kyle up to see if he could get more information about the about the leftovers and things. So basically they were just going to blame Joseph the whole time, that Joseph spilled right away. Joseph was the leak in the leftovers. Joseph threw them under the bus. So any information anybody knows, it's because of Joe, not because of Kyle. Now, Turner said he's going to say that. Alyssa, obviously, she's already started that narrative of when she was talking to Brittany on the feeds, when I turned it on right after the episode, she's like, yeah, and Joseph was like saying it's going to be a whole other game now. Like, we're all going to go back in the house and we won't even know each other the same, kind of like All Stars. Like, it'll be a different game. And he was just saying, like, it seemed like he was targeting me. And I'm thinking, why would you target me? Why are you protecting these other people? Maybe because you're working with them. So Alyssa was slowly starting to spill it. Now, Monty and Taylor were in the kitchen sitting at the table, and Kyle was there, and they were just talking BS. They were telling him about, there was just nothing of importance. You could tell that, Taylor's definitely and Monty going to be affected by the loss of Joseph and the fact that now the leftovers is over. But they were just talking about Tiffany hosting the comp, and Kyle was just asking dumb questions with the stupid bucket hat. I apologize. Actually, I don't apologize. I'm just going to be straight out. Like, I am so sick of Kyle. Obviously, like, people were tweeting, Busy Blue tweeted, fuck Kyle. And I said that shit. And I retweeted it. And I even think Puya tweeted that same thing from RHAP. So it's just like, ugh, Kyle. Ugh. So that's what's going on there. And we'll see, though, will Terrence spill the beans? Because this whole after party thing, it feels like Terrence, finally feels invited to a party, the after party, which is where everyone's drunk and hooks up, which, I mean, but no one's going to hook up with you. It's like you're their sober ride home, Terrence. Like, they invited you to the after party after they were done after partying. Like, Terrence and Alyssa, well, Alyssa is getting banged, but Terrence is literally like designated Dave. I mean, has to drive everybody home. That's what he's good for at this point. So I have, part of me thinks he will stay loyal for a little bit, because he wants in this foursome, but then knowing Terrence, I bet he spills, and I hope he spills. I hope he spills everything about Kyle. I hope he spills. I hope he's just as messy as he was in Dyrefest in the house. The only reason he wouldn't be is if he's trying to go for some more strategic thing, but the dude's never been strategic this entire game. So why start now, sir? You're known for the mess. So keep being messy. We need that. We need you to bring that energy into the house, because, I mean, there's an out for you within the people in the house. And then you can target Kyle and Alyssa and Turner and be like, hey, I didn't know any of this shit. They knew all this stuff. I didn't know about this. Otherwise, I would have put them up. It was too late. It was too late. So, we'll see. Let's see what else. Okay. On the feeds, before this happened, okay, so they planned out that they were going to throw Joseph under the bus. There was, talks between Kyle and Alyssa. They are so solid. This show, letting them slide this week they're going to regret this. Everyone in that damn game is going to regret this the same way they regret not listening to Taylor and taking Terrence out like she wanted to now. They are going to regret this because they're solid now. And solid, I mean, on very shaky ground, but solid in the BB house in the fact that they're starting to say the love word to each other. They make up to break up to make up. They're, planning their life after this. And I was like, I'll go to Florida. I'll do anything. And she's like, and we'll have kids, but let's travel for like a couple of years. We'll go to Greece. Is Greece a country? I don't know. Is it a country? What's your obsession with Greece? Alyssa. And then she's like, I just see so many pictures of it. Do you know that I get this bikini? They give them to me. Well, actually, like, they give them to me to wear, but if I want to buy one, it's 75% off. Oops, I shouldn't have said that. Like, these are the things we're gonna have to listen to on the feeds. It's going to be Holly Beth and Jerkson 2.0, but at least Holly Beth actually won some shit, so frustrating. But they're solid in that, and the fact that now there is a threesome, a final three that is formed with Turner, Kyle, and Alyssa. If we didn't already know that was coming, but I will be interested to see how the rest of the house reacts to the information they're given. Will they believe that Joseph spilled? Will they believe the story that they want the rest of the leftovers to believe, that Joseph was the Judas in the bunch. I don't know. I don't think Taylor will believe it. And knowing Kyle's track record, Monty is very logical. He's a very logical player. I don't think he's going to buy this shit either. In the beginning, he did believe the Paloma bullshit, but since then he's had lots of talks with Taylor, and I think that is something that he regrets so much that now he's not going to believe a liar when they're lying straight to his face. I think he's going to be a little more skeptical, and I think he just believed Paloma in the beginning because he had like a crunch on her or something. Something was going on. He lost his mind for a second, but now he's back, and I'm Team Monty for a little bit, as long as he doesn't go cuckoo. I don't know what's gonna happen there. Yeah, they know Joseph, and they know Joseph was loyal to a fault. So I'm really hoping that, I mean, I can't imagine that they're going to believe this BS story. Kyle has already proven to be disloyal to the leftovers. And it is, again, baffling to me that Alyssa can sit there and lie with this man and have penetration with this man and not call him out. Now, on the feeds, she did cry last night, laying in a bed of ants on the ground with her 10-second hero, saying, I am a little mad. I am. But it wasn't the same energy she had for Joseph. Let me tell you, it was not. She was like, I'm a little mad. I'm mad that, I was having a panic attack and you weren't there for me a week ago. And instead you were up in the HOH room and you were with this alliance I didn't know that you were a part of. And people talking about how they didn't want me here. I'm mad that I trusted you so much in this game and you took my information and you went and told others. And I'm mad that you said, I don't know what it's like to be in an alliance, but I would have loved to know what it's like to be in an alliance, but I don't know, because I never had the chance. And, my mom and dad, they never wanted to tell me things because they said I had a big mouth. She really said this. And so I'm just triggered, I guess, by this because my mom and dad said I had a big mouth and they wouldn't tell me stuff. And it's I want to be included in the alliance. And I'm mad because I like you so much. And I'm mad because I love your silly walk. And it was the Julia Stiles, like I said, 10 things I hate about you. Poem she reads. I hate this, but most of all, I hate the fact that I don't hate you at all. I love you. And then after she, whisper cries all this to Kyle, he's like, thank you for sharing that with me. I know that's not easy. She was like, I just feel better. Nothing changes between us. Nothing. We're the same. I still care about you. Did you say you love me? I said, I love it. That's love. It's not. It is too. Listen, Alyssa, when we're out of this game, things are going to be different. Okay? I feel bad. A lot is weighing on me. All right? I'm going to be affectionate to you. I'm going to hold your hand. I'll buy you Starbucks. And she's like, Starbucks? He's going to buy me Starbucks? We should get high. Okay, I've never been high before. We should get high with Turner and Megan Belmonte. Okay, that sounds fun. I can have a hot chocolate from Starbucks and get high. I never smoked before. And she's like, you can have it on a lollipop. And it's illegal in California. You can do that? That's amazing. And that is a literal conversation between these two adults who are jizzing in each other. Okay. So she had all that and shared that she was upset with him finally through whisper cries, but then immediately said, okay, but nothing changes. I still love you, or I like you. I'm in heavy like. And he's like, I'm so sick of saying, I like you so much. I'm ready to go to that next step. So they want to say, I love you, which is gag me with the power of veto. I can't with these two. I'm too old. I'm too disenchanted. I'm too over it. It's not going to last. And if it does, who cares? I'm not going to Utah unless I'm going to Zion because that's awesome, or Sundance. But I can't with these two. So when I saw in tonight's episode, so watching that last night and then watching the episode of her buck up to Joseph like she was doing something made me so mad that this dude, yes, he was nice to Jasmine. Yes, he was nice to Indy. Yes, he was nice to you. Yes, he took information and went back, your information and went back up there. But he wasn't super close to you anyways. And your dude did that right after he was done banging you. So it made me so upset to see her treat him like that. And like I said, I wasn't even like, Joseph is the best. You guys watch my channel. I'm not like, oh my God, my favorite player is Joseph. But now I want friggin' vengeance for Joseph because what he had to put up with, and then Turner doubling down on it and going after him, it was just too much. It was just too much. I hope Steffers, I hope the power of weed teaches him that. But then, yes, she's like, and what you did to Indy and Jasmine, first of all, Alyssa, don't even tell me about friendships or being kind to Izzy, Indy and Jasmine, because you, miss, have been the biggest biatch to these women. If anything, Jasmine deserves a better friend than Alyssa. And that's saying a lot, because Alyssa, from the jump of hooking up or hanging out with Kyle or flirting with him or having her period near him, has been throwing Jasmine under the bus. Sure, Jasmine is someone who's like, give me this, hand me this. Alyssa, where are you? But she actually really likes your friendship, and she takes every chance she can to say how much she likes you. And what Alyssa does behind her back is she shits on her. And she's just like, oh my God, Jasmine. And then she plays off like she's somehow scared of her. Alyssa, grow up. I mean, I know you're only 24 or 25, but you're going to have to grow up, because it's a bad look. This lady literally thinks you are fantastic. I don't know why. And then you take the opportunity to be like, oh my God, she's like scary. Leave me alone. She was telling Brittany tonight on the feeds, Jasmine was bad for my game, because Brittany's, thinking, well, Jasmine is like my Michael, and we got rid of Jasmine, so we got to get Alyssa back. That's what I'm assuming Brittany's thinking while she's talking to Alyssa on the feeds once they came back after the episode. And Alyssa was like, no, I don't. I mean, we were friends, but I mean, she was bad for my game. Bad for your game, worse for your game than a dude that is selling you out. Jasmine at least was loyal to you. Jasmine had to find out from Taylor and Brittany and Michael that you were selling her out, that you were spreading information, that you weren't really as loyal to her as you were. So I would say that Jasmine deserves a better friend than Alyssa, because Alyssa is one of those girlfriends that once she sets her sights, at least it looks like it in this house, on a dude, all the girlfriends be damned. I mean, they can go straight to hell, because she's just like, no, I don't know. I've only known her since kindergarten. I mean, yeah, we've been friends for 20 years, but it's not that big of a deal. Anyways, are we going to get dick or what? So she is that girlfriend that you're at the club and she takes off and you're like, excuse me, you're my ride home. And she's like, I'm sorry. I got dick. I got to go. And you're like, what? Like, huh? We're supposed to hang out together. This is supposed to be a girls' night. Like there's something not right with this Alyssa. And it is clueless and it is pathetic, because at this point, I was hoping that she would wake up. Like, you're seeing right in front of you at Dyer Fest that this guy has lied to you. Sure, he's saying now he feels bad, but he's telling a lot of people a lot of different things, and you're seeing it happen right in front of your face. This would be the perfect opportunity. If you like Turner so much, they get along, they seem to be really good friends, roll with Turner. Keep Joseph in the house and cut Kyle off by the dick in this game. Like, literally cut his dick off in this game. Be like, oh, you think you're going to play me and now you realize you're in love with me? It took how many squirts to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop? Too many. You should have already been telling me this stuff. But she feels so little worth, I have to think, in, herself, that she thinks it's okay that this dude, yeah, you're playing a game, but I mean, this was happening for a long time, that he was straight up lying to you, and that he actually wanted you gone like week 3. And now you're still going to be like, I love you. Let's have like 6 babies. Our babies are going to be so smart. They were talking about how their babies are going to be so cute. She's like, I don't know if I can have 6. I don't know what it'll do to my body. Like, it rearranges your organs. And he's like, how do you know? She's like, I work for a plastic surgeon. We do a lot of mommy makeovers. He's like, what do a mommy makeover? And she's like, I don't know, like your boobs, tummy tuck, stuff like that. So maybe we could do 4. He's like, I'll have as many as you'll give me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is not The Bachelor. Do you not want to win this money? Do you not want to win this money? You just want him to win it? I don't understand when women play this game for the men. You could now cut him and be a legend, miss. You're 24. Do you know how many dudes you're going to meet in your life? He was already slut-shaming her. They were talking on the feeds, and he's like, I haven't said I love you to someone in a long time. And she was like, me neither. Like, oh my God. And he's like, yeah, it's been like 5 years. It's probably since my mom. And she goes, oh my God, 5 years? That's really long. Mine was like a year ago. And then he was saying, oh my God, you've had 5 serious relationships? You're only 24. I'm 30. And I've only had 3. And I'm thinking, that's not her fault that you have success. Women and men tend to not want to date partners who just are willfully unemployed. That's kind of a quality that we don't like. I mean, if you're, unemployed due to circumstances you can't control, but when you quit a seemingly good job, which he did for TikTok, which I don't know if you guys know a lot about TikTok, but they're not balling out. That's why all the TikTokers go over to YouTube, because you're not making much money unless you're like a big, big TikToker. And I'm friends with some TikTokers that have way more followers than Kyle, and they like don't make anything. They make barely anything. So they go over to YouTube. So they take that big following and go over there. So far, he hasn't even been smart enough to figure that out with him and his mom. Dave, thank you so much for the super chat. When's HOH comp? Must win for Britt, Taylor, Monty. It is going to be, I think, tonight, hopefully. We'll see. Thank you. Yeah, mom doesn't count. So I got to watch the showman's in this house. I just hope that it's been rumored that we're going to get the tiny Vito as the HOH comp, which would be interesting. Okay. That was like Spoiler Girl, I think, was saying that on Twitter, but I don't want anything that Kyle or Alyssa can win. And I saw Big Brother Boy tweet that he has a bad feeling. Shout out to Big Brother Boy. That Alyssa or Kyle's going to win. And I'm like, oh, dear Lord, please no. I can't take a week of them humping in that bed and planning their kids. And she is so young, and there are so many employed dicks out there. Like, I don't know if you've ever had an employed dick, but it is perfection. Like, if you like dick, if you're a fan of dick, the ones with jobs, oh my God, so good. The ones without mommy issues, even better. Oh my God. The ones that, don't do shirtless TikToks, that's like, you could have an orgasm. Like, Alyssa, you can be orgasmic. You deserve orgasms, okay? As shitty as I thought you were tonight, I'm still a feminist at heart, and you deserve orgasms. You deserve someone to know where your clitoris is. You deserve a man to know you have 3 holes. You deserve a guy who understands your body, your mind, your soul, and can pay for more than Starbucks. So you deserve those things, okay? Love is not blind. It shouldn't be blind, okay? Love should have bifocals. Okay. And maybe that's from a 42-year-old woman perspective, but love should definitely be binoculars. You don't want to be blind to shit. You want to know and see what's coming. And luckily for you, Kyle has shown you what's coming, but you're still willing to accept a life without organisms and orgasms. So, and you can give them to yourself. Like, someone send this girl a package of vibrators or something, or dildos, to each their own. I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm a Christian, but God, give her a tickler. Isn't there like a new tongue one that came out? I don't know. Busy Blue showed me one for men that was like a Floby for your wiener with water. And I was just like, that is amazing. And yeah, it was amazing. He's amazing. He took a little break. I remember Big Brother Boy a couple years ago, and he's so funny, and he's definitely unfiltered. I love an unfiltered Big Brother fan, obviously, for obvious reasons. And he does lives like in the cemetery. What's not to like about the dude? He's great. He's fantastic. Planner Base says, I feel sorry for Alyssa. Doesn't she have any real girlfriends that support her, encourage her, show her validation? Then again, she probably lost them because she's nothing more than a human dispo. She says she has girlfriends, but sometimes we all know you can't save your girlfriends. We all go through our dumb 20s phase. I've dated dickheads before, and I've had friends be like, hey, he's a dickhead. And I was like, I'm going to need some more time to figure it out. And then I did figure it out. And then I had to go to that friend and be like, I should have listened to you. So, my frustration in Alyssa, I think too, is, you see a little bit of your mistakes in the past. But the insecurity in her is the thing that I think is the most alarming, and her willingness to throw other women under the bus. It's one thing to date assholes. It's another thing to, feel so insecure in yourself that you can't uplift other women. I think that's where it becomes, problematic, a little too competitive, if you will, when no one's being competitive with you. So as much as I want to feel bad for her, and I have a little empathy because I was a young woman as well, and being a young woman in the world isn't the easiest, but I just feel like this is all right in front of you, hun. It's all run, cut his dick off and run. Like, seriously, Lorena Bobbitt his game, and moveon.org with Terrence and Turner and whoever else you have to grab. Even Taylor would I mean, Taylor has been dying to work with women in this house, and they have just shit on her the entire game. And even when they've shit on her, she's shown them nothing but grace, just like she did Jasmine. I mean, you could tell Brittany wanted to just passive aggressive and drag Jasmine when they were telling her she was going and questioning her, because Brittany's jury management is the worst. Some of the worst jury management I've ever seen. I appreciate it because it's Team Fun Feeds and it's a mess and super messy. And I love, a Big Brother mess, but it's horrible. Everyone that leaves, she's like interrogating. I mean, she already has like that creepy Dateline look, like snapped, like she's gonna, she's a beautiful woman, but she's got those eyes where it's like she could stab me. And when she takes this time to then be like, prove to me why I should vote you out, or it's very strange where you're thinking, okay, Jasmine, she was horrible, but you have to have some jury management because it's going to be very hard for you to beat anybody. And so the way she talked to Jasmine, I loved it because it was very entertaining. Well, horrible for her game. And you could see by the goodbye messages the whole time Brittany was talking, Jasmine's like, because Brittany did herself no favors. This week in the Big Brochella house, they all got along very well and they got to know each other better. But then Brittany takes all of that work, that social work that she put in, to then just shit on Jasmine and be like, that's a lie, Jasmine. You're lying to us right now. What about this alliance? What about that alliance? Like, you're sending her home. So send her on her way, make her feel good. You're a strategic threat, Jasmine. You're too good socially. Yeah, you can say Monty's like a big guy, but, or at the last second, decide to tell her about the leftovers. What's she going to do? There's 4 other leftovers there. 4? Yeah, there's 4 other leftovers in there with her. Who's she going to tell? I mean, granted, if people think there's a battle back, but you want to make them feel good. And then maybe, in your goodbye message, mention the alliance, which she did. But at first, she just dragged her. Where Taylor, she participated like Michael a little bit, but they were a lot softer about it. Taylor got up and got her a Kleenex. Taylor, Jasmine's so delusional that she really thinks, she's like, my biggest regret is that I did not stand up against people when they were talking about you, Taylor, because in the real world, that would not fly with me. I'm like, oh, you didn't stand up against yourself when you were talking about Taylor? Because you were one of the worst, Jasmine, to just hate Taylor for no reason. But Taylor's just like, yeah, because she knows if in this moment she would be like, F you, Jasmine, it was you. You made me feel like shit. You're the one. You're this. And Taylor doesn't even know the extent of everything Jasmine has said and done. But Taylor took that as a time to show grace and empathy and forgiveness, which, I wouldn't be able to do the same. So kudos to her. And she was like, and I told you, this game, it kind of changes, people, and you have to do certain things you wouldn't do in the real world. So I will not hold that against you. I am going to be bothering you in Atlanta. And she was like, I hope so. And Brittany's just like, okay, well, how about post-back? How about old school? How about this? How about that? You're lying. You're a liar. I can't trust your lies. I don't know. You're trying to, it was, if you can go back to the feeds yesterday evening, like I'm trying to think around like a Big Brother time, somewhere between 5 and 7 or 8 Pacific, I think, you'll find this conversation, and you have to, I'd be way too petty. I want Brittany to be so extra scary. Paul says, I'm so disgusted by Kyle's game, and him thinking there was a Cookout 2.0 was ridiculous. I hope Monty, Brittany, or Taylor win. I kind of just hope, I can't trust Brittany yet to know that she will do what I need her to do, which is go after the showmance. So I'm going to say I'm going to need Taylor or Monty, because I feel like Brittany at this point, she might just take like a different shot. She might actually go after, I don't know with her, because technically she has a final 3 with Michael and Taylor, but then she was starting something with Kyle and Alyssa and Michael. So I don't trust her enough in what I want done with the game to cheer for her to win. I want Taylor or Monty. You say, oh God, me too. I don't think he was getting any. But I don't know. Yes, and that's not how it went, Jasmine. Jasmine was just up her own ass in this conversation. Like, that is not who I am. When someone's in a conversation with you, like, this is true for the real world. When someone has to say openly, I don't like drama, I'm not about the drama, they're about the drama. Because people who aren't about the drama don't ever have to say I'm not about the drama. When someone has to say, that's not the kind of person I am, over and over, that's the person they are, because they're trying to convince themselves and they think that's going to convince you, but it's not. Because if you're not that kind of person, then you have nothing to prove. And why are you even thinking that someone would think you were that kind of person? Your action should already show people that you're not that kind of person. But Jasmine is that type of person, and is the type of person that has to say, I'm a good person. Anyone who says they're a good person, bad people, bad people, bad people. I don't know if I've ever met a good person who said they were a good person. Now, I just know they are because I can tell by their actions and by who they are. But Jasmine's definitely the type that's like, I'm a good person. Everyone will tell you. It's like, well, you have, 16 house guests you've met along the way. And I don't know if one of them would say you were a good person in that house. And why would you even play Big Brother under the guise of wanting to be a good person? That's another thing I don't understand. These people that are like, I just want to play and play for integrity. Well, then you better have integrity. If you're going to say you want to play for integrity, you better have integrity, and so it's interesting thinking about Joseph's game, because Joseph wanted to show that you can play this game and still play loyal. I think with Joseph, he had, I think he had good intentions for that, but I think he's 25. Again, a similar situation to Alyssa, very young, even though 25-year-old Joseph was a lot more awake than 24-year-old Joseph. And I also think he's not that familiar with the game itself. So it isn't, because when he was like, you can't get to the end without this big team, it's like, you can. There's lots of ways to get to the end. Now, earlier on in the game, it's much better to have alliances. And, as much as the big alliances are boring, they do work to advance people's games early on. But there is a point where, shots have to be fired at one another. But the way Kyle did it, well, also because of Kyle is who he is, it was just gross. If Kyle wasn't a racist butthole, I think people would obviously respect. And it's similar to, a Dr. Will type game or something. I'm trying to think of, people who, when you're okay with being the bad guy. That's something that I always say. If Franzel just would have owned that she wasn't America's sweetheart, because there should be no such thing as that. That's a creepy, crazy term, and very, very sexist. I hate that term, America, because you never say that about dudes. And she just would have owned her kind of villainess, cutthroat gameplay. People would have stand that shit. But the fact that she was like making all these dirty moves, wrapped up, trying to wrap it in a bow, like she was sweet, like we didn't have the feeds, like we couldn't see what was going on, made it impossible to really enjoy her. Yeah, Joseph only watched BB23, so he's just so naive to that. And also, I think, if you don't have that much experience in life, so there's like a good and bad with being older on this show, is that you have a lot of experience in life. So probably some of these lines that they're trying to feed you are people you've been through this shit before. But the bad about being older is you might be too set in your ways, or too stupid, or unwilling to progress or learn new shit, that you're just like, well, so it might hinder you. That's how I've always known it to be. Now, the problem with being too young in this game is you haven't yet experienced the things that will kind of wake you up, and, such as people like lying, deceit, stuff like that. So you might fall for it easier. So that's the bad thing. The good thing is you might be more open to new opportunities and situations where once you get older, you tend to, build walls of protection for yourself. As humans, we just kind of do that. And a lot of us, I don't think we're cognizant of that, but we kind of have figured out, whether consciously or unconsciously, what happens when we're vulnerable and what happens when we put ourselves out there. And so certain walls might be built up. But yeah, so I mean, it depends. It's interesting. It's an interesting concept to think of, because sometimes I say, oh, it should be all older players, and oh, it should be all younger players. And I think at this point, it just needs to be better players. I think we just need to have players who somewhat are familiar with the game. Not everybody has to be. But I think, I think it needs to be more proportionate with more people who actually give a shit about Big Brother and aren't rejects from other shows like Love Island or trying to get on the challenge or trying to get Instagram followers than not. We need more people that actually care about Big Brother. I mean, there's all these people who auditioned, and Terrence said it this season on the feeds. He was like, okay, Amira got recruited through LinkedIn. Well, if everyone's recruited and only a couple of us had to actually audition or try out, what happens to all the people that audition? Why even have people audition? And they cut the feeds down. And Terrence was making a really good point with that. I share the same opinions as you, Joleen. Chell sounds like my hubby a little. Yeah. Chell gets to be everybody's hubby. And that might, that's the casual. Rook says BBAARP. Chada is tweeting about Jasmine limp disappearing quicker than an egg running down a crisp piece of whole wheat bread. I love her. Yeah, I always like retweeting Chada's tweets because they're usually pretty funny and on point. So yeah, you guys. So right now, I mean, it really is. It's do or die for Monty and Taylor. And I hope this week of them together and bonding and having talks pushes them even closer together game-wise, and losing Joseph, and they can get their vengeance on Kyle and Alyssa for that, because at this point, you really got to target this showmance. You let them go any farther, and you might as well just hand them the end, the final two. You have to break this shit up. And Turner, we'll see what Turner does, because I was very disappointed with Turner this episode. And early on, I didn't like Turner. Preseason, I was like, no, bye. And then, slowly I was like, I like Turner. I like this little guy, And then this episode, I was like, I don't know, Turner. I'm side-eyeing you. I'm seeing things I don't like, because I feel like this scene we saw of them having this conversation was just unnecessary. It was unnecessary for him to chime in and turn on Joseph like that. And the only thing I can think is he's just being really bitchy because he's got to be glamping, because he was complaining a lot about that. And I know that he has expressed that he is close friends in this house. His closest friends are Alyssa and Kyle. Like, okay, but bro, you've seen Kyle. You've seen how he moves. You've seen how he acts. And if you are another self-proclaimed super fan, would you really want to work with him knowing that he's going to cut you and he's going to do the same to you? Joseph wasn't wrong. He will do this to all of you eventually, except for Alyssa, who he's going to have 4 to 6 children with. If, I don't know. I think it only takes like a second of sex to get pregnant. So Alyssa, you could sit on some jizz and maybe and have a baby. So, they could do that. But there's something about Turner that I'm like, I don't like this side. I don't like this at all, because going from where he was previously when Kyle was getting temp checks on him, and he was like, no, man, we're going to stay loyal to the pound. We're going to stay loyal to the freaking leftovers as long as we can. Yeah, we're going to ride this. Like, what are you talking about? Calm down. No, you get clipped. To this Turner, I'm like, what happened? The camping was that bad, bro? You're supposed to be hashtag van life. You wash your hair with Suave 2-in-1 in a parking lot, and you poop in a plastic bag. That's literally what he showed us. He's got like a little seat, a little squatty potty. You okay, Chell? Chell's like, Speaking of squatty potties. And then he composts it. He composts his own dookie, which God bless. But so there's been rougher times for you than the glamping in the Big Brother backyard. So I don't know what happened in those days. The feeds weren't on, but somebody did something to Turner, or this is how he's always been. And he was just getting, he was just quieter, getting a good edit, and people enjoyed him and his muffin hiding. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Turner. Thank you, Dave. I think Turner sides with the HOH winning alliance. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, where did van life go? Turner ain't rude. BB Twitter is whining. People just want Joseph to stay so he and Taylor can have sex. And that was the thing. I was totally fine if Turner, listen, you're going to vote Joseph out. Okay. I mean, if you think that's a smart move for you, I don't get it, but You're worried that you can't flip Terrence. I mean, I thought Turner would try a little bit to flip Terrence. And since he has such a close relationship with Alyssa, I thought he could talk Terrence into like, hey, if we get Kyle out of here, we can pull Alyssa closer to us. And, that'll be better, because in the end, she's always going to pick Kyle. And if she's, a good ally to both of us, I mean, that kind of break that up. But ultimately I thought, well, maybe he just doesn't want to go through the hassle. And he's like, everything's been spilled, so I'm just going to vote Joseph out. Fine. But seeing what he said in that conversation and how unnecessary that was, I was like, ugh. It wasn't good. It just wasn't, like, I don't know how many times I can say it wasn't necessary. And it just didn't feel like the game he normally plays. So I was very shocked that he would do that. But I don't know. Turner trying to forget his stripper days like Cardi B, I guess. I don't know. Turner knows how close they are. So you would think he would know not to be the third. You would think, Jen, you would think the sun fried his brain, which is so surprising, again, because he's living outside, living in a van, hiking over here. I've lived over in Costa Rica. I lived in, Vista Del Mar. I'm just making up places now. But he's like, the heat's made him crabby. Like, I guess he is a Boston, Massachusetts guy. Maybe he's not used to that kind of heat, but it's not even humid. And isn't like Massachusetts, much like Minnesota, humid? I mean, yeah, bro. I just really thought that this, free loving hippie greenhouse guy would be, down with just the natural elements of the outdoors. But, Daisy, I have been thinking this. I have been speculating myself, but I don't want to disrespect Megan Belmonte. Shout out to Megan Belmonte. But this friendship with him and Alyssa, I don't know. I mean, Alyssa is the one that said you can't have friends you don't want to have sex with. And Turner was like, no. Or that you do want to have sex with. Turner's like, no, you don't want, or guys and girls can't be friends. And he was like, whoa. They can. And like that, now I'm thinking, why did he go so hard on that point? Is it because he didn't want Alyssa to not be his friend? She was like in her bikini today and she's just strutting around and, she's doing the thing now. And I know that's a total thing that I just don't do because I barely can wear a swimsuit and enjoy myself. But you know how you kind of like, now you pull your swimsuit up your butt, which is the thing. It's like, oh, look at my cheeks. You're like, this is where my poop comes from. Poop. And then she was like, oh my God, look at Turner. My stomach is peeling. And he's like, oh, he's trying not to look. I'm like, and her dad is like a Buddhist and also like he's not a never nude. He's the opposite of a never nude. He's a nudist, I think. And she's got like mom and dad issues. So does Turner. They get along really well. She laughs at him. He thinks she's funny. I mean, I think Turner would be a better fit for her, but all respect to Megan Belmonte, I wouldn't want him to cheat on her. She seems like a nice lady, as much as I don't know her one bit, but she's not on the show, so I don't want to disparage her. I think she's probably a nice young gal. What about the manship Joe and Monty had going? I didn't even know it was going on. So it wasn't a thing. The same way when Terrence told Turner, oh, remember when I said that I threw OTEV? Because that's Terrence's big claim to fame. I threw OTEV, and then you said facts, so I had to put you up. The same bullshit he gave about that is like the same Mojo thing. I didn't even know Mojo was a thing. And I watched this shit. Maybe I just didn't pay attention to that live feed, but I did not think it was a thing. Yeah, Alyssa said her parents don't tell her stuff because she's got a big mouth. A clothist. Oh my gosh. Kai Hole, I kind of like that. BB Canada is still better. They don't give up. I mean, yeah, BB Canada is superior. I'm a Megan Belmonte and Turner truther. Oh my gosh. You're killing me, Steffers. Is Turner clean enough for her? Is Kyle clean enough for her? I don't even know if Kyle knows how to clean his own wiener. You know what I mean? Like, he's that kind of guy that's like, oh, sometimes I run it underwater. All you gotta do is soap. So Kyle said he won veto, but Alyssa said Terrence did. Uh-oh. They're already doing it. So mojo is a thing, but I really don't. There's nothing more powerful than this in this game. There's just not. You can break up a bromance easily. It's much harder to break this up because there's a lot of other factors going on. You have, what does America think? I'm in love. I have feelings. I have your jizz. You have my jizz. I made you, have an organism. I didn't make you have an organism. I'm going to look like an asshole. I'm going to look like a slut, because there's all these things that society puts on, people when they're in relationships, especially very public relationships. So I don't even know if I trust that Kyle likes her that much. I think Kyle fears. I think she's like the hottest girl because he's always talking about how hot she is. I'm like, is there anything else you can tell her? Can you tell her she's smart? Can you tell her? He does say he wants to hear her poetry because remember, she's a poet. But even she don't know it because she doesn't want to share it. She doesn't want to talk about it. She's like, you do not get a stanza from me. Okay, not a sonnet has been spit, but other things have been spit in this game, but not that. But I think Kyle might, even knowing him and how disingenuous this dude is, he might just be worried what his mommy in America might think if he would just ditch her. And I think he likes jizzing, Raquel says Kyle does not only have racist tendencies, but also hella insecure that drove him to target Joseph. He did say to Alyssa, he's like, you like Joseph more than me. You laugh at Joseph more than you laugh at me. So it's like two really insecure people in a relationship. This is just a recipe for disaster and a temporary restraining order. Like, I have seen this story before. It's not good. It's not good. Oh, Mojo. See, whenever they're working out, I change the live feeds. Boring City Township. I've listened to one conversation about working out that Joseph had because he was talking about training and it was kind of motivating, and I can never find motivation to work out. But other than that, once they're working out, I think Big Brother should take all the workout equipment from the house because I think too much time is wasted working out. I need you to talk game. I need you to be paranoid. I can't have you just working out, talking about creatine and your six pack and building muscle. Go walk around, take some walks. I see all these commercials, advocating that all you gotta do is walk. So if you can't make it work with walking, are you really a trainer? Are you really? Kyle washes with Dawn. He saw those little ducks in the commercial and they got oil on them, which is so sad. And he was like, well, if it works for the ducks, it works for my dick. And yeah, I know. You knew it was going to happen though. Yeah, his mom gives him a bath and he's got that little seated bath. He's got a little pillow in there. Oh my gosh. Let's see what else you guys are saying. I'm going to have to join a support group if anyone from the after party wins HOH. I know. Don't worry. We'll make fun of it. So, did Joleen put her finger in the circle of other fingers? I did, and I'll do it again. Teamy talks with Tom, read a heartfelt from, Odell Chuck. We talked about that, saying the beautiful things Turner has done. Like once Turner waited in 10-degree weather for hours with a hurt deer until help arrived. Wasn't it a duck? I thought it was a duck. Yeah, I mean, that's nice. I'm glad, but maybe he could have shown that kind of empathy and sympathy to Joseph as he was dying outside in the game. And then you decided to put your 2 cents in, knowing that Kyle, he acted like he was Alyssa. Like he was just like, he's having sex with them. He's got to protect them. Let Kyle, I mean, if Joseph is in fact going and you're not voting for him to stay, like, why even say anything? So, oh my gosh. Yep, she's a poet. She writes poetry. She says she can't express herself verbally, so she's got to write it down. And so, yeah. Taylor and Joseph had genuine feelings. Well, Joseph did say, call me. I hope she calls me after this, so we'll see. Tonight's drinking word is jizz. If you are drinking, make sure to not drive because I've said it a lot. Jolene, Mojo wasn't a thing, but people see them run workout routines together. But you're right, Kyle and Alyssa, so much stronger. So much stronger. So much stronger. Jasmine is feeling betrayed. I know. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that in her interview. But I will say Jasmine is right. She's right. She was, unless, correct me if I'm wrong, but she was pretty damn loyal to Alyssa. And Alyssa never had Jasmine's back. She like would use her to talk shit about people. And then behind her back, she'd be like, oh my God, Jasmine, right? She's so annoying. She's so this, she's so that. So yes. Did Joseph ever wear a shirt? I don't think so. I think he was like hashtag free the nipple. Dude, Kyle is so jealous of Joseph. He thinks Joseph's the star of the show. Yeah. Well, rumor has it that he is. He's one of the, well, we know he is one of, he's a fan favorite, and he's a production favorite, allegedly. Helene, all the way on Facebook, said, isn't Alyssa friends with the gal who was doing the CT guy from the previous, what? Helene, you're coming in with some tea, and I don't even, who's the CT guy? Like CT from the challenge? What's a CT? How come I can't remember? Is Alyssa going to confess to KKK Kyle that she's Latina? I don't know. I thought you would say run, walk, really walk. Facts and fire. Facts, fire, facts. Fact. I did think it was a duck. I thought it was a duck. Yeah, because we have ducks out here. We have a little pond outside. And during the pandemic, I followed the story of the baby ducks. Like the mom had them, and then I would film it. I was very bored, but I do like ducks. I do. I enjoy a duck. I enjoy a mallard and the other one. Because the two that are the same, they don't hang out. So I feel like the guy and the girl are always hanging out, right? The male, female? Yeah, I don't know. Deer duck, same thing. Maybe it was a deer duck. You know, maybe it was like some hybrid thing in some evil scientist's, laboratory that they're doing all this testing on. And Turner's like, hell no, I won't go. And he covered himself in like blood and stood out there and protested and saved all the deer ducks. So, I mean, you can't hate Turner. He once saved a duck. Okay. You can carry a duck. I don't know. I just think that people need to chill. Maybe it's because I'm older now. As much as I'm like mad because people, I'm not going to be like I'm mad how they treated Joseph. Like my initial thought is that, but I'm also not going to carry this with me for the rest of my life. The only thing I did was Janelle and Kaysar. I will carry that shit until I'm dead. That was so sad. Getting them a taste of them again. That sounded bad. On All Stars, and then having all these idiots get rid of them pre-jury was just not being able to see Jacer was it was just too much. It was too much. So I think people are really worried about Turner. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Do not hear Busy Blue. No, I don't think Busy Blue ever wants him in a shirt. And that's the thing. I wasn't even that's how much these people, how disparaging and unnecessary I thought that behavior was toward him out there in Dierfest, that I wasn't even a Joseph stan, but now I'm like, fudge, that was messed up. That was messed up. Deer ducks. Nicole A. Oh God, don't even get me started on her. What a travesty. Yeah, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'm definitely not going to. Deers and ducks' lives are not more important than balloons. Yeah, Turner was very against releasing balloons into the atmosphere, but he's all for stabbing Joseph in the back, literally kicking someone while they're being murdered and disparaged on national TV. I did do a Jasmine impersonation video. Please watch it. I heard production really tried to turn Terrence in the DR, but he doesn't pick up on anything. That wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me at all. It's just a game. Plus, it's a big move. He was in the catbird seat to win if Michael left. I pray that if they do BB25 with previous house guests, they don't bring back Frenchie or Double D. Oh, I don't think they'll bring back those two idiots. I heard rumor has it that there's going to be a second chance this season because 25, those are just the rumors on Twitter. They're saying it's a big season, 25 years. So they're going to do second chances. I'd be open to it. I know All Stars was so disappointing, but the first All Stars wasn't. I'd be open to it at this point. Fuck it. People who actually want to play, sure. As long as they bring back people who actually still care about this game. They don't have to pull them out of way retirement. It's people that have something to prove. So yeah, 16 people who only played the game once. I agree. And I think they could easily find a decent cast. I say that knowing that, we might not get that. It'd be interesting. They could invite Donnie back. They could have Candace. I mean, Candace and Howie, I don't know where their lives are right now and if they'd be willing. And I don't know even if they're, if they're still have interaction within the Big Brother world, but you never know. But I think they definitely deserve a second chance. Helen, #Helen was pushed. She's still tweeting about the season. Claire could come back. Claire and DX are going to be on The Amazing Race. They had a really cute picture. Johnny Mac, I don't know. Is he still a dentist? We'll see. Of course he is. I mean, what a dork. He can't even figure out how to end his life. So yeah, if Lawan is not invited back, it's rigged. If Lawan not Kalia, I think they were saying, because she's on Twitter, and I think they asked her if she would come back. Did they, or am I just making this up? I could be just making this up. I could be the spoiler Joleen. I'm just gonna not saying that spoiler. I don't know nothing about Spoiler Girl, so. Oh my God, I would love if June came back, but if it's a second chances, she already won. So June should have been in All Stars. That was a missed up. There was a lot of missed opportunities because we had people who were pregnant. We had, Big Brother wasn't paying enough to get Daniel Reyes, and June lives all the way in Belgium. So Jen season 8, Jenza, Jen's a member. I feel like she should get a second chance, and I hope she brings her t-shirts. Okay. I don't know what they're doing, Gabby, if they're setting up for HOH or not. Rennie, I heard that it's inappropriate. Rennie's like, you better not have a season and not invite me. You better not. Actually, I don't know, but I feel like maybe we'll have to double check on Rennie. That's all I'm going to say. We'll see. I don't know what's happening there. Big D character. No more Big D. He sucks. No. Oh my gosh. Season 8, Nick, another Minnesotan. I wonder what he's doing. I wonder if he still has faux hawks or mohawks. Kemi would be a great second chances, but I don't think she'd ever do the show again. I don't think, from what I've heard her say online and stuff, that she had obviously she didn't have a good experience. Horrible people in her season. But I don't think she wants that. So yeah. Brittany Haynes, but she's done it a lot of times. I would not want to see Friendship Paul back ever. I feel like he had too many chances. They set it up for him. They gave him all the friendship bracelets, and he still shit the bed twice. So Angela, well, now she's in the challenge world, so it could be Fruit Loop Dingus. It'd be great, but I think he severed his relationship with Big Brother. Last I heard, he might not allegedly be the best. They might not be a big fan. Monet left so early, and Monet was like, her and Brittany had the little mean girl thing. Had Monet not left, I wonder if it was a different time then too. How many years ago was that? Season 12? The one Hayden won. God, that was a long time ago. So I wonder if she hadn't left, if Brittany would have been as popular as she is, or if they would have been seen as mean girls. In present day, I think it wouldn't be as well received as it was. Janelle can come back again. I feel like I would be here for a Janelle and Kaser 2.0. I don't Like, I want the oldest all-stars to come in. I want like old all-star house and see what's happening. Funsky says HOH is happening in an hour. I hope so. Gina Marie, no. Gina Marie needs to go away forever. Nokomis, blast from the past. I don't know. Robot Sam is like, I will kick a mud hole in you. She didn't enjoy it. Amber B, she won the challenge on MTV. And her season, she just was trying to hide out from Caleb as he stalked her. So, I mean, if she'd be willing to do it, but now I feel like now that she's been in the challenge world, I don't know if she's still doing the challenge. I don't know if she would do Big Brother because she's probably doing just fine money-wise on the challenge. Shelly better stop smoking if she's going to come back. She better have stopped smoking, Shell Bell. Oh my God, Shelly. Remember Shelly and Jeff was so mad. I don't think Dan would ever do it again. He's busy with his Twitch and stuff. Oh my God, not Baby Bangs. Baby Bangs can't come back ever. Ever. Jess, I think Jess would be a good candidate to come back as well. And now that she podcasts about it and knowing what she knows, I think that would be very, very interesting. Let's see. Cliff. I got Cliff this season and it feels a little Terrence-y. I wouldn't want to see Cliff again. Kat, I mean, she podcasts about it too. She could be, I think it would be a different, older version of Kat. That's maybe the inventor of the back door. There you go. Another vote for Amber on here. God, you guys really want to see Cliff back? Really? I thought Cliff, I mean, he took a showmance. I just didn't feel like his game was very good. And the Cliff Notes, I mean, I did like making fun of the Cliff Notes though, because he was so funny about his Cliff Notes because he was so loud in that side room. He was like, good morning, everybody. It's me, Cliff. Here's my plan of what I'm going to do. I'm going to team up with Jackson. He seems nice. And what else am I going to do? Let me tell you all my secrets. They're asleep and they can't hear me. Welcome, America. I hope I am on RHAP. Drag Maggie back. She already won. Chicken George. Oh my God. Chicken George is probably Jerry's age by now, right? Oh my gosh. I want to see a BB Can, BBUS crossover. I want to see it. Yes, James. I want to see this happen. Canada. And they were talking about this on the live feeds. Taylor was talking about this. In the kitchen, Michael was there, Monty was there, I think Jasmine, and she was like, Canada is like they go crazy for their big brother. Like they're so supportive of their big brother. They saved it, which is true. They've saved their show. They added in, advertisers to make it work. And they treat their show very well. Arissa Cox is a fantastic host and executive producer. So, I mean, I would love to see this. I feel like they respect the BB US game because they based the model for their Big Brother was based on the US. It makes sense. Early on, we had so much crossover with BB Can just in Canada with BB US. Like they had Dan Giesling there. They treated Dan Giesling like he was damn Michael Jordan. The early season, like the first season, I think it was the first or second season, Dan showed up in his Flare 7 jeans, and his red button up. And he was like, what's up? You could tell he was like nervous and he'd show up to live shows and they were like, oh my God, it's Dan Giesling. He went in the house. I think for a BB Can season 1, and Arissa's like, Dan's here. And then Dan would give like 2 sentences of game talk. And they were like, ah, like he was like the Beatles. Okay. It was insane how much they were just loving Dan Giesling. I thought this was going to probably open up a door for Dan to somehow work for BB Can, but I don't know where that went. But there's been so many great BB Can players that, oh my God, would be fantastic to do a US versus Canada border battle. Come on. Who doesn't love a border battle? I'm from Minnesota. We have the Vikings versus the Packers. We always lose, the Vikings, but we get excited. We're like, border battle. I don't even like foosball. Okay. I applied once in like 2013 and obviously did not get on, and then never tried again and realized that I am lucky and glad that I didn't get on because it just wouldn't be good. I lack the patience. I lack the filter. I lack the empathy. I lack a lot of the things you need. I lack some of the logic, I'm definitely like an armchair quarterback, but if I actually have to do it, everything I say here is going to go out the door, and I'm going to shit on my own game and be emotional and tell people off. And I'm going to be like, who is the nasty fuck that did not flush the toilet? Like, there are things that I can't live with. People touching my stuff. Ask my husband. Like, I think he's laughing, listening right now, or maybe he's laughing at something else. But I am very particular. I've gotten to an age where I'm particular about my stuff. Okay. I would almost be Jasmine-esque. Like, there was a blanket in the HOH room that was there for every HOH. And when she was there, she was like, I guess it's mine now. And she took it. And so Brittany and Michael were like, I guess we're just never going to get that blanket back. And she wears it like, it's mine now. It's mine. So yeah, people eating my food. I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't tolerate disrespect. I would not. I don't want to sleep in a bed with someone. I don't want someone talking about how I sleep. I don't want to talk about how other people sleep. I don't want to share a bathroom with a bunch of people. I don't want to live with people who don't know about a courtesy flush. I don't want people farting on me. I don't want to sleep in a twin bed. I don't want to have bright lights all the time. It's just like, it's too much. It's too much. And then I got to be out there in a swimsuit half the day. And these kids are like, isn't it great? It's summer. It's like, no, I'm in my 40s now. I prefer fall and winter. I prefer sadder times. Okay. Summer's overrated unless you're a child or a teacher. I still got to go to work. I still got to do the same shit. It's just hot. And my electricity bill's a lot higher. So no, I'm not. I would love to go on the Circle. Now, if the Circle called me tomorrow, I'd be like, I'm on my way. I have auditioned for the Circle once. And I look back at that audition tape and it was a whole mess. I was just early pandemic. I was trying different color eyeshadows. I wasn't blending. So it was just me wearing a green Adidas jacket with a green as green eyes, looking like the lady from the Drew Carey show's makeup. So yeah, it was a mess. The shared bathrooms just did it for me. Okay. Yeah, I can't share beverages. Like, I barely share. I don't really share. Like, my husband's the one person that can take some sips off a drink of mine, but it depends on the drink. There's some things you don't share. Like, people who share milk, go to hell. Go to hell. Go to hell. That is disgusting. You want to sip of my milk? First of all, I don't even drink milk, almond milk, because I'm a California creep, but I don't get it. I see people like sharing milk. What are you, a serial killer? Like, what? You don't share milk. There's just certain beverages you don't share. I mean, I would love to catfish. I would love to go in with me and my mom and somehow have a twist. Me on that is me and Nana, because I'd be so bored in there and Nana would keep me entertained. And so maybe I could catfish as an older lady, or I could have Nana catfish as someone younger. That might be fun, and I can help her. But yeah, so no, I don't. I'd have a sensory overload. I mean, I would have panic attacks. I would cry. Because I'm a moody girl. Like, I have my moods and I need my alone time. I'm an Aquarius and I love attention and being on stage. But then after that, I like to retreat with some Ben & Jerry's milk and cookies. As I just said, don't share your milk. Who drinks milk? But I do eat ice cream. Lay in the bed and watch, some kind of like American Horror Story, or Pretty Little Liars, which I just started because I really liked the Pretty Little Liars Original Sin on HBO Max. If you haven't watched it, that's out, but I never watched the original Pretty Little Liars, so now I'm trying to binge that. But there's 7 seasons of that shit. 7. What is this, Game of Thrones? My God. 7. I thought, just a couple seasons. It starts in 2010. But I'm trying. Okay. I'm trying to get through it. I'd be a simmered down version of Paloma. I would be, I don't even know. Paloma was all the problems. But I would believe everything you say to me. I can't tell when people, and I'd get my feelings hurt. If people lie to me, I would get my feelings hurt. I will get my feelings hurt. I talk a big game, but I would get my feelings hurt. For sure. Yeah, electricity in California is out of control. It is out of control. It is like a second mortgage out of control, and it's rent price out of control. It's not cool. It's not cool at all. So yeah, summer can suck it. I'm ready for Halloween. Okay. Now let's say Big Brother was 2 weeks. I'd do it. 100 days with these fuckers? No. And I would be the oldest. They'd put one 40-year-old me and they'd be asking me, what was it like in the old days? And I'd be like, I'm still young. I don't know why you are talking to me like that. I'd have to explain who Lisa Loeb is to them. It's just like, it's not a vibe. I probably would have been 50. I didn't even think about that. My tape was horrible. I think I mentioned that I was mentally ill in it. Like I was like, and I'm going to use that as a strategy. Because at the time I was misdiagnosed with a mood disorder. And so I was like, yeah, I have a mood disorder. And so obviously I'm very moody. And one day I'll be this way and one day I'll be that way. And I can use that to my advantage. But seeing, who they've cast since then, I don't really think they mind. You say she did. Yeah. Right? I'm ready, Vanessa. I am ready. My back is feeling 100% better. My new pillow, my little gun thing on my back, so much better. So much better. I think strategically I might be okay, but I do think my emotions might get in the way of things. And I can't, how you have to do this like social game of if I saw a Daniel Tiger yelling at a Taylor, I wouldn't just sit there and be an observer. Like I get up. Like we went to New York City right before the pandemic started, did a bunch of shows. We were at Katz Deli, I think it's called, after a show with my husband and my brother-in-law. And there was like a fight. And my husband and brother-in-law are both like pacifists. They're both very calm. I got up and I was like, what's happening? And then I started filming. Like I was like, this is the best night of my life. What's going on? So there's no way I would just back away. And then if I saw a guy, any guy talking to any of the women in the house like that, it would be on. It would be on and I would be canceled. We don't, Muriel. I don't think they started yet. So none of us here. Yeah, exactly. Until I'm in that house, I wouldn't know. I would think so too. I did as a strategy. I was like, I'm very mentally ill. So whatever. I mean, I was like 32, 33 at the time. So I was just whatever. I don't even know if I still have the video. I remember what I was wearing. I had this t-shirt I loved and it was all like the heartthrobs of the 90s and 80s. My brother got it for me and they were drawn. I might have a picture of that t-shirt and it was like Mark Paul Gosselaar and, so like Zach Morris and I think Corey Haim was on it and just a bunch of different people. And I loved it. But it was so, oh my God, Aaron, I would not have got along with Aaron. No. I know. I hate this too, Milfman. They should definitely have a live HOH right now. Something. This is the thing. They're on a big lot at CBS. Like they are Paramount or whatever we're calling it. They have lots of room to blindfold the house guests, take them over to a different location. We've seen them. Where they had the last Power Vito with Tiffany there for the big Brochella. They were in a different location. Have it in there. Have it ready to go. What are we waiting for? And have it live. Let's see what happens. Tawana, today was eviction day. Jasmine and Joseph were sent to jury. What about Jen? How would you forget? I mean, I would have thought that was so stupid. I would have, oh my God, especially at that time in my life, I would have been like, get over yourself, girl. Get over yourself. Now I might understand it a little bit. I mean, that picture is like forever. But that picture wasn't even bad. So, but I wouldn't have cried over my picture. I don't think. I don't know. There's no current Sunday competition to show. Oh my gosh. Aaron, she was like, that's just the way we talk in Texas. And everybody in Texas was like, no, we don't know her. We don't know her. What about the wall yeller? I mean, they're never going to show us. I don't understand why they don't show us. If there was, in fact, a wall yeller, just show us. It's not going to encourage people to do it anymore. You're not showing it and people are still doing it. And at this point, you're kind of asking for it in the fact that you have people out there for a week knowing there's wall yellers and people used to fly planes over there. And now they got, what are those little things that fly above? I want to say droids, but you know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm talking about. Sorry, it's like almost 2 hours of me talking. They should have been more prepared for that. This has been happening. It's not that big of a deal. I think people overreact on the wall yeller. I really do. There are so many outside sources and there's so many interference with production and other things in this game. What's a wall yeller going to do? Like I said, other iterations, other countries, Big Brothers, they invite fans to stand outside the house and yell shit at the house guests. Watch BBUK. And you'll be like, wall yeller, who cares? They literally vote on the people and they tell you, like, we hate you, get Daniel out. They'll scream, they chant, get Daniel out. And BBUK is coming back. So you can see, thank you, drone. You can see that that's the case. I mean, I know it's a different format because that might taint jury votes and things like that. But at this point, like, who cares? Quit shutting the feeds down for this. If you really are worried, you would make the Big Brother house more secluded. Like the, oh my God, the zombie movie. You guys every year I mention this and you have to, maybe I'll do a recap of the zombie movie. Everybody go, if you haven't seen it already, go to YouTube. And before we talk again, maybe I'll do a special little video about this. There is a fantastic zombie movie, Zombie Big Brother. It's a UK movie and it's called Dead Set. Okay, you guys. Now I want to show you this in case.
The sofas.
Okay, in case you have never seen this. I know a lot of you fans of Big Brother have seen this movie. It is so good. We're entering upon scary season, so I want to give you a very good, just in case you didn't know about this movie. I want to give you a great recommendation to here, let me get this in here. Okay. To watch. Okay. So you can watch it free on YouTube. Okay. So you don't even have to have, we're all already on YouTube. So you're going to go watch Dead Set. Okay. And it is, I think is it a movie or a series? I think it was just a movie. And I shouldn't probably scroll through. I don't want any spoilers, but it's Eviction Night at the Big Brother house. People die. Classic fast zombie series. So it is Big Brother with freaking zombies. And the host of BB at the time, Davina, she's in it. And it's so freaking good. Okay, I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. It is an older movie. And by older, I mean like early 2000s, I think. But it's just, I'm going to rewatch it. I'm going to make Joe watch it with me tonight. That's what I'm going to do because we're going to do a little spooky, scary movie segment, probably starting in mid-September, where we're going to watch. Not October. He's yelling October. Well, maybe October 1st. And we're going to be watching because he hates scary stuff and I love scary stuff. So I'm going to have him watch it with me and then we'll do like a breakdown of that, of the scary movies we watch, of like the best scary movies. Mariel, thank you so much for the super chat. When will we know who won HOH? Also, I love when you guys do this casual corner. Thank you so much. Shout out to Tommy Bahama. I think we should know by tomorrow. I can't imagine that that the feeds wouldn't show us. So, yeah, I think so. You need to watch it. Dead Set. You gotta watch it. Okay. This is zombies. They are fast zombies, but the Big Brother house and zombies. You gotta watch it. And the UK. Everybody in the show sounds like TV Talks with Tom, and we all love TV Talks with Tom. So they sound like TV Talks with Tom. It's having to do with Big Brother and zombies. Okay. So there you go. There you go. All right. Is the UK one where they get a certain amount of votes to split, where they want to make it had to know who voted for who? I don't know if I understand that question, Twana. I'm sorry. yeah, hopefully within the next couple hours we'll know from the feeds. Yes, and I'll try to be good about that so that you guys know before, quite a few days before, which movie, because we might go live on them, but we might bank some too and kind of do like fun pre-recorded edited ones and just be funny, and we'll probably end up roasting up the movies and doing reviews and stuff like that, but we'll let you know before. Yeah, we love TV Talks with Tom. We love him. Okay, Patty, you don't have to apologize, okay? You can be a little drunk. If you're an adult and your name is Patty, and that's a very adult name, Patty, so you get your drink on. All right. I think someone asked about jury segments. I wish they would air, jury feeds. It'd be very interesting, but I don't know. They haven't really caught on to that. You are so welcome. Dead set. Go watch it, you guys. All right. I got to get off of here. I have to go do my School of Thought workout. I'll let you guys know how it goes. I know the guy that says day 17. I love the UK and Australian because their Big Brother, the voice is so powerful, and we actually hear it in the episodes, and we don't hear our Big Brother guy's voice, which he has a great voice, unless they're doing something wrong. But they'll be like D18, D6 in the Big Brother house, D10, and it's just like the way he says it is magical. Yeah, he's the best. I knew TV Talks with Tom, knew him before he even wanted to start a channel. And he hit me up and he was subscribed to me and he was like, do you have any tips? And I was like, I do. And I gave him tips and he did everything. Because a lot of people will hit me up and they'll be like, hey, how do you start a channel? How do you do this? And I'll tell them all the things you have to do and they'll go, okay. And then I never hear from them again because it's a lot. But I was like, Tom, you could do this. You're young. You're great, And sure enough, I think he took what I told him, which a lot of people are like, okay, they asked me, but then they're like, whatever. And he did it. And now he's killing it. He's probably going to hit 20,000 subscribers soon. And this was just a little guy who was like, I really want to do this. But you could just tell by the way, even just by the way we interacted in chat, that he was very motivated to do this. So yeah, it was really cool. Today they had Joseph go to the DR. Yeah, you'll hear it on the feeds, but we don't really hear it in our episodes very much, But yeah, we did hear that. Yeah, you're right, Steffers. You're right. D26 in the Big Brother house. I love it. I just love that voice. Yes. Okay. Yeah, he's authentic. He's a cool kid. TV Talks with Tom. Shout out always. Love my fellow BB recappers, except for a couple of them. A couple of them are psychos, but most of them are very nice, but a couple are psychos. One in particular is a whole ass psycho. With comedian, that would actually be really fun. I've thought about making a Big Brother panel of comedians, but there's not a lot of comedians that watch Big Brother that I know of. Which essentially is why when I first started my channel, there was no one else that did comedy. I mean, people still were funny, but there was no other comedians covering it when I used to watch it. So I thought, well, I can bring that perspective because other channels have the strategy on lock. They have the other things. So I was like, what could I bring to it? But I have had a couple of comedian friends on in the past talk about Big Brother, but I don't have a ton. Anthony Jeselnik is into Big Brother, a feedster into Big Brother. That's kind of funny to me. I would never guess that he would be. Abby said Turner's out for America's Favorite Player. I'm voting Taylor. I mean, I think we should just all vote Taylor too, but you can vote for whatever you want. It's your vote. So that is funny. I would never guess that. I'm going to hit up Rihanna. Me and Rihanna are going to do, she's getting all the shout outs this season. We're going to do a panel, obviously, are you for real? That is so funny. Oh my gosh, but he isn't funny. What's his name? I know a lot of dude comedians who aren't funny, so it's okay, Nanya. Give me a first name, last initial. I don't listen to what's his podcast called? Anthony Jeselnik? Every comedian has a podcast, so I don't know. Ina's good. I just talked to Ina the other day. She's living her best life, her and her hubby. She looks super cute. If you follow her on Insta, she's got like short pink hair she did recently, and it looks really cute. She always has the best nails, and she's just doing life the right way, just in love and killing it and being beautiful. So, yeah, I actually just talked to her like a week ago. I was thinking about her and my phone rang and I was like, oh my God, it's Ina. So that's how it works. Yes, please send me a clip. The YouTuber lady? Is it the smeared lipstick lady? Man, there's so many people. I know, I miss Ina too. I think, I think she just was like, you get kind of sick of stuff, and I think after Celebrity, she was like, I just kind of need a break. So, and I think life happens. People fall in and out of Big Brother too. She might be back. She did. Miranda. So it's Miranda Sings. Oh my God, that's weird. That is weird. Well, I guess me, Miranda Sings, and Rihanna are just going to be on here. Oh, Patty, that's so sweet. Since my mom passed away, I'm trying to watch things she did, and Jolene's channel is one because it'll be brother. Oh, well, your mom sounds like so rad, and I'm so sorry for your loss. But you're welcome here, Patty, all the time. In real life, she's so different. Oh, I bet, than Miranda Sings. Miranda Sings had a show, like a Netflix show, I think. And there was like 2 seasons. I watched it. It was pretty good. And Angela from The Office played her mom on it, I think. Oh my God. Oh, Turner and Taylor got a shout out from the H3 podcast and Hassan a few weeks ago. That Hassan watches it too. And is Hassan part of H3 now? Because Hassan used to be with what was the channel he was with? Turks? Oh my God, my brain is not working 2 hours and I'm so sorry. Turner loves H3, so he'll be so happy about that. If he's on Ethan's radar, he'll be really, really happy. Yes, Sally. Oh my God, you're a big Miranda Sings fan. Young Turks. Thank you. God, my brain is not working. Is he part of H3 now? I don't even know. I gotta watch more things. I used to watch the Frenemies podcast. I really liked that. I hate that Trisha Paytas had to ruin that because it was very enjoyable. And I didn't want to like it. But it was super enjoyable. Did she? That means Taylor won the best reality star. Oh, that's huge for her. That is so fantastic. I retweeted that today because I saw we had a couple hours yet to vote. That is amazing. I don't know if Trish had her baby yet, but I did know she was pregnant, and her husband is Ethan's, who she used to do, friend who was his wife. What's her name? Hila? His wife's brother. It was drama. Oh my gosh. Oh, Ethan won't work with someone who has beef with Mr. Beast. Oh, but he shouted him out. Oh. Really? God. I had no idea. But I did see that Gabby Hanna, and I'm not like super big into the YouTuber world. I mean, I kind of used to pay attention, but I don't. But apparently Gabby, that's her name, right? Gabby Hanna. She had like a full-on mental crisis online, and some like stranger saw it. Well, not stranger, but like a fan saw it, and she let him in her house, and she was posting like all the freaking TikToks and videos. And one of my friends what is his channel? He was going live about it, and I met him through Up and Adam. Shout out to Up and Adam and Down with Jason, but I can't remember what the hell his channel is, but he was doing videos about it today, and it was crazy. It was like crazy scary that this guy just went into Gabby Hanna's house. And I don't know a ton about Gabby Hanna, but I know that there is a lot of stuff that follows her, a lot of controversy that follows her. So that's interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I've watched a few things Gabby Hanna related in the past. But now I wish I knew his channel so I could tell you guys to go there, but I forgot what it's called. I have the 2-hour brain and I can't remember. So maybe Muriel's in the chat and she'll know who I'm talking about because I just don't remember. This is new as of today or yesterday that Gabby Hanna was posting like 100 TikToks, and it looked like she was in some kind of manic episode maybe. And then some guy went to her house and he pretended or didn't fully disclose that he knew of her and was like filming and stuff. And then she freaked out on him. And then maybe the police were called and she did a video saying strangers in her house. So it was crazy. Yeah, I love Up and Adam. Up and Adam is amazing. Him and Zach just did a show in Los Angeles. They started doing live shows and I performed stand-up on it and it was so fun and they killed it. So not me, I didn't say I killed it, but they killed it. It was really fun. And they had the whole Vanderpump Rules, a lot of the Vanderpump Rules cast there. And they had so many people there. Yeah, it was actually really sad. So sometimes I wonder about the last and lost episode of Frenemies. Oh, is there a lost episode? I didn't even know that. Oh. Thank you. Okay, talking about Lamar on CBB live feed. So does he only watch celebrity then? Okay, Sloan has a great YouTube video. Okay, happened yesterday. Yeah, it was crazy. But you could do a whole channel talking about those YouTubers. I mean, I talk about some problematic YouTubers on me and Busy's channel, Sip and Key, but they're mostly it's like covering episodes of Cops and Love After Lockup mixed in with crack, I think is how you would describe it. Thanks, Tammy. Shout out to Tammy. We love you. Yeah, they're spilling the tea show. It was so fun. Okay. He knocked on the door to use the bathroom. Oh, that's creepy. The guy at Gabby Hanna's. That is so creepy. So already, letting someone, because I remember when the news broke, that Gabby Hanna had purchased this house. And then whenever I see these YouTubers willing to give house tours, I love a home tour. So I watch it. And so I've watched that within the past couple of years, I think. And so to know that she was in a state where she was just letting people in, that is really scary. All right, now I've said I was going to leave and I haven't left because it's the long Midwestern goodbye, but you guys are so fun to chat with. I appreciate you so much. I will be back very soon with some fun, short, spoiler type videos. Go live after the next episode. I forgot what Julie Chen said about Sunday. I'll have to look it up because I forgot. I was just so pissed. We only got 2 minutes to see the reactions of the house guests to, the other house guests, to the two sides coming back together and reacting to who left. So I wasn't really paying attention. Something about foosball, Sunday this, Sunday. Do we have an episode Sunday? I don't know. I have to figure it out later. But you guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for all the love in the chat. Thank you. Shout out to my mods. You do a fantastic job. I appreciate you. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Feel free to share me out with your friends. And follow me on social media at Joleen Lunzer on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. I love when I see that I have new followers on there, and it is my friends from the YouTube channel. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, night, evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And remember to enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Good night.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold. But don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some. Feel your body losing up the tension. Baby, till I mention, I'll be here for you.
Okay, I didn't hang up because I just saw in the chat. How do we know this? How do we know this? Yes. Don't listen, Chow.
You gotta work out.
My husband's like, you gotta work out. How do we know this? How do we know this? I was just playing my outro and I saw this and I was like, how do we know this? All right, I'm going on to Chow's like, we're never gonna work out. Oh my God, it's not true. Okay. Because I'm like, if feeds aren't back, let me see if feeds are back. I'm never leaving. I'm going to be online for the rest of my life, you guys. That's what's happening now. I'm just going to live online like some of these people. Okay, no, feeds are not back. You saw someone say, so we just got trolled, which I love a good troll like that. I mean, it's so fun. Yeah, so we don't know that. I'm just checking because like you just never know. Yeah, feeds are not back. So no, we don't know anything, guys. But you got me. You got me. I know, Haiti. I know you didn't start it. Someone else did. And I love you for it, sir, because my heart started beating and I'm just glad that it's not true. I'm glad that it's not true. Okay, we're just going to end it now. It was an endurance. We're going to end it like that. Monty won. We don't know if he did. That's a lie, but let's manifest. Put it out into the universe. Okay, put it out as quickly as Kyle puts out his jizz. Good night, everybody.